I'm really impressed with today's pair of sneakers, and the fact that I got it from the sneakers app is just that much more impressive. No, it may not be the most hyped pair of shoes, but I also kind of like that about it, and there's a lot of interesting details about this one. So today we're taking a look at the Jordan 5 K54. We got a Jordan 5 box. It feels like it's been a minute since I've taken a look at a Jordan 5 on the channel. So yeah, you've got the black top, the Jordan Jumpman logo. Of course, I'll give you a look at that tiny little size tag at the bottom before we pop these open, and we're met with the garbage bag, little paper thing that goes in there. And let me show you today's pair of sneakers, guys. The very clean Jordan 5 K54. So K54 is an annual basketball tournament held in Paris, and actually some of the images of the place look sick. If you've never seen the actual basketball court that they have there, you can just see the Eiffel Tower in the background. Either way, this street ball tournament that happens every year, which I don't believe it happened last year, however, it is back. And of course, like pretty much every year, they have paired up with Jordan Brand to bring a collection of different Jordans. Last year we had the Jordan 6, which I took a look at on the channel. I told you guys how much I actually really liked that pair of shoes, and I think it's because of that pair that I really wanted to take a look at this one. And you know what? I like this one probably even more. K54 and Jordan Brand has collaborated on a Jordan 5 in the past. However, this one for me just instantly takes the cake. Instead of being the white and green, it's now kind of a fire red base. So there's a lot of fire red reminiscence in this pair of shoes. However, they've added some really cool details that I'm actually more of a fan of. But before we get into all of those details, let me give you some specifics on this pair of shoes. These actually released on the 10th of July here in the EU, and I believe they are still going to be released out in the US. They haven't dropped yet. Don't quote me on that. I'm not even sure if the last year's one actually released in the US, but hopefully you guys out in the US will have a delayed release sometime either this month or potentially next month. Either way, these retail for £170 here in the UK, which I believe is $200 if you're out in the US. So again, these do take on or have a lot of familiarities to the Fire Red 5s, obviously having a solid white leather upper. And you know what, after breaking these out, trying these on, I'm actually probably more inclined to wear these and like these more than the original Fire Red 5s. So the completely white leather upper actually feels pretty nice in hand. If I do a little press test on the toe box, you can see it kind of wrinkles and presses down quite nicely. It's nothing insane, however, you're definitely not going to be mad at this leather quality. The plastic lace eyelets that you find on the top of the shoe come in a solid red color, and they swapped out the regular pair of laces for this really interesting K54 print. This print that you find not only on the laces, but the inside of the shoe is an African print, and I think it looks insane when you look at it, especially on that inside sock liner. It just looks super, super cool. The lace toggle is completely transparent plastic, and for the tongue it comes in that OG fire red reflective tongue, of course with the embroidered Jumpman logo in red. The reverse of the tongue is red as well, and of course you do have a little patch on the back. However, it doesn't say Air Jordan, it just has that same print that you find on the laces and the sock liner. And of course, if you peek into the shoe, you'll see just how crazy cool that pattern is that you find on the sock liner and the insole. I think it looks super, super cool. It's a nice little detail as well, because it's not that overbearing overbearing, it's not that crazy. You know, obviously if you have your foot in here, you're only going to really see the edges when you're wearing it, but I just think it adds so much to the shoe and I actually really appreciate it. Round towards the back of the shoe, by the heel, you've got the K54 branding and of course a Jumpman logo just to show the collaboration coming together. One of my favorite details on this pair of shoes has got to be on the lateral side where you can see that little K54 branding just kind of peeking through that rubber mesh material. Now, one thing about this pair of shoes that I don't particularly like is the midsole. Now, of course, it comes in a standard Jordan 5 kind of theme here. You've got predominantly white midsole with some black accents being that kind of spike at the forefront. But of course, if you look at the outsole, this color that's going on here, it's not red. You can see that there's a clear difference between the upper and how the red accents are to that outsole. This outsole is almost a little bit pinkish. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether it's kind of pink because they wanted it to be pink or because they gave it a slightly translucent effect so you can see the branding on this right shoe, which shows the Jordan logo, and of course on this left shoe where you can see the K54 branding. Now again, it's the outsole, so to me it's not a massive deal by any means, and once you put some miles on it, it's going to kind of darken up, I assume, with a little bit of dirt and a little bit of scuffs, so it's really not a deal breaker for me at all, and I just think overall, with all of these different details, it looks super clean. Now, this being a Jordan 5, you don't get any extra laces included in the box, so you're either settling with this print or of course going out and grabbing a different colored lace. For me, I'm definitely happy with these laces. I think they look sick when you've got them matched with the rest of the upper of the shoe, and I just think all over it's a really well done pair of Jordan 5s, and I'm super happy for how this turned out and definitely going to be rocking this summer. You're getting a very okay pair of shoes in terms of comfortability. It's certainly not one of the most comfortable. However, there is a decent amount of padding around the ankle area, which definitely helps. When it comes to sizing, for me, I always go true to size with a Jordan 5, so I definitely recommend you guys doing the same thing. But again, if you've tried on a pair, you know exactly what size to go with. Pretty much wraps it up for the Jordan 5 K54. Let me know if you managed to grab these here in the EU, or if you're looking forward to a US release. Let me know down in the comment section, but thank you so much for coming through, hanging out for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then,